Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, November 13th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol NIO. Very rough move on this one today, but now it's starting to get relatively interesting based on the action that's occurred throughout the latter part of the day. And this is a situation where nothing is guaranteed, but it at least makes sense, meaning things started off very rough, a gap down and then down, 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 down. And then here all of a sudden, it has started to go sideways. Now, let me be clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price has gone sideways does not mean that for sure guaranteed the bottom is in and for sure guaranteed this thing is going to make a nice move back to the upside. Not guaranteed, but is it at least plausible? Is it at least reasonable? Absolutely. Case in point, let's just say the price was still dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping. But that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. So maybe, just maybe, this is some sort of bottom. And it is NIO, very well-known stock. So let me just map out a couple areas here. First key level just being the support or bottom side of this sideways movement right there at 458. So no fancy reasoning behind that other than that's just simply where the price has started to go sideways. And if there is going to be any sort of maybe potential, bounce back to the upwards direction, the key level that looks like it will need to be broken right there at about $4.64. So no doubt about it, small, tight little range. It is going sideways. So is this some sort of leading indicator of a bottom and then a bounce to come? We'll see what happens. Next one here, CERO, did this one in yesterday's video, and it broke out through that level of resistance. So all in all, very, very solid day, and now we have ourselves a very solid pattern here. So let's just get this pattern drawn into play. So top part of the pattern resistance, let me get that trend line into play right there. Bottom of the pattern support trend line, let me get that into play right there. Change that to green to represent support. And then just to keep the pattern hopefully easier to see, let's change it to the same color real quick. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big explosive move right there. And then for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual for you. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, it would not be shocking to anybody if the price were to come up here and break up through there. And then on that break right there, all of a sudden find additional buying pressure. Even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, totally fine. But the whole idea here is that there could very well be a surge of momentum just because you have people buying, just because it's a breakout of a technical pattern. So if you like penny stocks, if you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one, BTCT, monster mover today. A lot of volume, a lot of volatility. And now we have some well-defined technical levels here. So let's get these mapped out. So we'll start with areas of support. The level that stands out with me as a key area of support now right here at $9.15. You can see on several occasions late morning, then the rest of the afternoon, the price got, generally speaking, right around that area. Never quite hit it there, never quite hit it here. And even right now as I talk, it hasn't hit it, but it's, it's down around this general area. So far so good. The price has been doing a great job of respecting right around that $9.15 mark. And then in terms of areas of resistance, in my mind, it's all about right around that $12.65 mark. Yes, I realize that both there and there, the price did technically go above it. But after that, you can see it was just a good amount of data points right there. And then even right here, never hit it exactly, but hovering right around that level. So we have ourselves a pretty well-defined sideways channel pattern now. Bottom of the channel, 9.15. Top of the channel, 12.65. But even if you just want to trade the channel, I mean, that's over a $3 move just in here, which really illustrates how volatile of a day it was. But in my mind, that's a big question mark going into Wednesday. Who is going to win this battle here? Do the bulls win with the break to the upside? Do the bears win with the break to the downside? We'll see what happens. Next one, FOXO, and very, very impressive movement on this one today. Now, there's a little bit of perspective that goes into it. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart's looking pretty bad. But assuming you care about the bigger picture standpoint, even with the pullback here, the price is still building higher lows, and that is the name of the game. So good to see that the price has now broken up through that resistance trend line right there. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that. And now just from a support standpoint, and this is nothing new if you've watched past videos, but you know that we've been watching that purple line here, and which is the 50 period moving average, and as long as the price stays above it, then overall the health is perfectly fine. And you can see today, even with that pullback, I mean, I guess the price kind of sort of got maybe a little close to it, or you can argue, no, I wouldn't even consider that close, and fair enough. Point being is that the price is still nicely above that purple line. So even with the pullback today, from the big picture point of view, that is why everything is so perfectly fine, because the price continues to put in these higher bases. Or if I just want to map out the lows here, if you want to envision those as stair steps, you can see very clearly stair steps still progressing in the upwards direction. In terms of key battlegrounds moving forward, resistance-wise, main level to watch moving forward right there at the $1.20 mark. So keep an eye on that. If there is some sort of breakout back to the upside. But once again, put in a higher high, put in a higher low, and from a trend building standpoint, that is certainly the name of the game. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this thing finally decided to act human here a little bit, but overall still perfectly fine. The price, I mapped out this support trend line right there, and you can see the price actually did break down through there. And if I extend this out, you can see this is actually a classic example of this area of support. When the price breaks below it, you expect it to act as resistance, and that is exactly what played out here. Broke below it, and then went right back to acting as resistance. But I am going to just get that line out of there so we can try to keep this as clean as possible. So the overarching level of resistance, I'm still going to consider this area right here, this trend line, so I'll just extend that out. So keep an eye on that, again, from just the overarching resistance. And then in terms of areas of support, the near-term level, and what would make the chart look the strongest moving forward would be if the price can stay above that purple line there, which you now know is a 50-period moving average. In fact, right now, as I speak, you can see the price is basically sitting right at that level. In the event the price does not hold above that area, the next key area of support to keep a close eye on after that would then be down there right around the 316.80 mark. So once more, big picture wise, everything is still perfectly fine. Sure, if you're a scalper, day trader, and you bought there, there this morning, then yeah, maybe things were looking pretty rough for you. But just from the overall standpoint, the trend is still perfectly fine. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, NVDA, and overall the chart had a just fine day. There is one adjustment that I'm going to make, and the key dynamic here is, okay, well, what direction is this adjustment being made? And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance right up here to the 149.65 mark, and as you notice, I move that resistance in the upwards direction. So assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that is a good thing. And you can see right now, basically 149.65 was a problem point a few days ago, and then you look at today and that same grouping right around that area. So for whatever reason, there are definitely sellers and profit takers and maybe some shorts hanging up there around 149.65, but at the core, there's a lot of sellers right now at that area. Doesn't mean that it can never be broken. Just saying that apparently, according to the chart, if the price is going to be able to push you that level, the bulls are really going to have to bring quite a bit of strength. In terms of areas of support, update just based on the rule when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and that actually played out perfectly this afternoon. So again, the power of charts, I'll turn that into a quick plug. Go get signed up for that free webinar. But you can see right here, was broken. You would expect it to act as resistance, and what a coincidence. Literally bounced right off that level. And I promise that line was already in there. If you don't believe me, I'm not offended. Just go back and watch the video from yesterday and you'll see that, yeah, I had that line in there as resistance, but it was broken. You would expect it to act as support now, and that's exactly what it did. So moving forward, we have ourselves the sideways channel, bottom of the channel 146.55, top of the channel 149.65. Next one, LGMK, and a bit of a buzzkill on this one with the last 30 minutes here. It's not necessarily ruining the chart, but it's certainly, kind of putting a damper on things, and this is why I like to do these when the market's still open, because as I speak, you can see this candle has gotten a little bit bigger, and, so like I said, has not destroyed the overall chart, but it's certainly made things not nearly as attractive as what they would have been had the price managed to stay up above that area of support right there, and at the 0.186 mark. But nonetheless, though, what I'll do here is bring this down to this gap close location right around the 14.5 cent mark, and it's a double whammy of potential support. Whammy number one, already discussed that former breakout point, but then if you look closely enough, there's that purple line there, valued at basically 1 point. We'll call it 14.5 cents. So 0.145, also an area of potential support if this downwards move continues. If there is all of a sudden a turnaround and the price decides to change its mind, key area of resistance to watch will be that trend line right there. But yeah, no need to beat around that bush. Last 30 minutes here, putting a damper on things, to just reiterate, does not mean the entire chart's destroyed, but certainly not the strongest of closes, and really is changing the conversation quite a bit. Next one, MARA, did this one yesterday, and not a whole lot to talk about other than just mapping out a level that you got to think a whole lot of people will be watching, which once again introduces that talking point of a potential self-fulfilling prophecy. But in terms of areas of support, talked about this level down here around 23 yesterday. And again, kind of, sort of, maybe got close to it during that opening 30 minutes, but not really. So from the support side of things, zero worries at all. Not only did the supports hold, like I said, the closest the support even got to being tested was just really actually not that close. So 23-ish, it remains at ideal level of support. As long as the price stays above there, that's going to make the chart look the strongest. But even if the price doesn't hold above it, you do have the purple line there, the 50 period, which will continue to move higher and higher. But the main dynamic here that you got to think a ton of people are watching, because there is very little skill in this, is right there at 25.50. Basically, it was the highs from late afternoon, and it was the high from right there. So is this a double top? Potentially. Or is this just the breakout point that people are waiting to see if the price can break? And if it does that mean a for sure guaranteed continued momentum? Absolutely not. But it's certainly more than valid to think that, if people just start buying, well, because it's a breakout and because, I'm a breakout trader, for example. So 25.50, definitely all eyeballs on that one for Wednesday. Next one here, GRAB. Going to go through this one relatively quickly because we have a tried and true pattern here that's, I think a lot of people have noticed. So there's the top part of the pattern. There's the bottom part of the pattern. And let's just keep it one color. So we have our, oh, that was a terrible line. We got to try that again. We have our resistance, not much better, but you get the idea. We have our support. We have the big upwards move there. We have the golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant. So if you like stocks down around this $5 range, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one, GNS. Very crazy late day today. Not necessarily late day, but late morning and then the rest of the afternoon. And we have some well-defined levels. Namely, if there is going to be another breakout. Clearly, the seller showed up right there around $1.20. Yes, I realize right here, the price spiked well above it. But after the price fell back below it, you can see once, twice, 3 times the price tried to get back above $1.20 and just couldn't quite do it. So that's not to say the price can't break up through it, but that's certainly where the sellers are currently hanging out at. Although right now, not the greatest of the last 30 minutes there. As it pulls back down, but it's still quite a bit of ways above the key area of support to keep a close eye on. That support being right there at the 91 cent mark. So keeping an eye on 91 cents if this pullback continues. But like I said, now that I think about it, it's kind of been the day of sideways channels. We've had a ton of sideways channels. We once again have the same thing. Top of the channel, resistance, $1.20. Bottom of the channel, support, 91 cents. So we once more have that question. Who's ultimately going to win the battle? Do the bulls win? Do the bears win? Grab some popcorn for Wednesday. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be pretty soon, Thursday, November 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So again, go get signed up. And if you enjoyed this video and want to help out the channel, please hit that subscribe button. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. We are now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours instead of 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. And from a video standpoint, I want this to remain relevant for as long as possible. So by using the longer time frame and then walking you through some general questions, that'll allow me to keep this analysis relevant for, like I said, as long as possible. Well, the past 4 hours have been very solid as the price heads upwards. So let's just assume you're watching this video 15, 20 hours from now. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where is the price at relative to 90,150? Any sort of answer that the price is above that level, well, that is telling you that a new breakout is underway, and that is a good thing. So very straightforward in that stance. So like I said, as I speak right now, it's knocking on the door, but if you're watching this, like I said, several hours from now, you'll have a better idea. Did the breakout occur? Did it not? So like I said, any answering of the question that the price is above 90,150, the chart is looking fantastic because that would be telling you that you did indeed get a breakout. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is still down below there. Next question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 81,500? As long as you're saying the price is above there, then again, the chart is perfectly fine. Because even if the price is down around here somewhere, all that's giving you is some sort of big, bull flag, bull pennant pattern. So nothing to worry about at all. And that's just what I'm really going to keep it at, because I doubt the price really even pulls back that much more. Now, if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is actually really far down below 81,500, let common sense take over. The bears have shown up in a big way. Same thing here. If the price is well above 90,150, well then yeah, the bulls are not only still here, they're gaining and maintaining their strength that they've been having. But these are definitely the two areas I'm very curious about moving forward. Can at least consolidate at these higher levels, and nothing can go straight up every day, but if you get those higher consolidations, that's what ultimately matters. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for the free class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So go get signed up. It'll be soon, Thursday, November 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And as already mentioned, if you enjoy these top 10 videos and you want to help out, support the channel free of charge, please just hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Hitting that subscribe button truly helps out quite a bit. So thank you in advance if you could do that. So again, go get signed up for that free class. Thanks for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button.